always on the run from Captain Hook. Run, run, lost boy. Yo perreo sola, perreo sola. What is going on, everybody? How are you guys doing? Because I'm doing all right today. Clearly I'm here with another video today. So as you guys can see, there is ingredients popping up on your screen, and if this is going way too fast, I will list some of these ingredients down below for you guys so you guys can check them out. Okay, so today we are making pork chop in a saucy kind of way with onions, pepper, and yellow rice with yellow corn. So if you guys want to stay tuned, continue on. Alright guys, so right here I'm just going to be chopping up the onions, and I'm going to be chopping up the peppers. I'm going to chop half of this onion and I'm going to chop half of the peppers. So that's going to dice them all up, and it's all going to go into a separate dish, okay? So when cutting up your peppers, you just want to cut your peppers into like slices or dices, or prefer how you like your peppers. I like to cut my peppers into slices and then chop them into like little pieces afterwards. So it depends on how you and your family like to eat your peppers, basically, pretty much. So as you guys can see, it's all cut up and sliced up there. Alright guys, so we are about to chop up our meat. Well, not chop up our meat, season our meat actually. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the adobo, and I'm going to take the Goya and all the seasoning that I basically took in the beginning. I'm just going to season up the pork chop, and that's what we are going to do. So I'm going to put the Goya, obviously, like I said in the beginning. Then I'm going to put black pepper, and then put complete seasoning in it, and basically any kind of seasoning that you like to season your meat with, basically. So you just want to season your entire meat with that, and make sure that it's properly seasoned, that there's actually some flavor in it, okay? You don't want your food to taste like white people food. Alright, so now I'm going to put the sazon, culantro, and achote. This is going to give it like kind of like a bright orangey color, so that when you do cook your food, it's going to pick up that flavor as soon as you start putting it in the food and you mix your sauce with it. So now what I'm doing here is I'm just mixing up all the seasoning together, making sure that the pork chop is all covered up in the seasoning. As you guys can see, it has a nice little bright color to it, and your girl is dancing because she's very happy. So this is the olive oil, and I just put the oil in the pot so that the pot could start cooking, because what I'm going to do is that I'm going to take some of my sofrito and I'm going to put it in the pot so that it could start sauteing. As you guys can see, I put my sofrito in the pot, and now I am putting in my onions. So what you're going to do is that you just want to mix your onions in with your sofrito, because you want your onions to start softening up a little bit. As you guys can see, after like a couple of minutes, the onions look like they are starting to soften up. So as that is softening up, you want to start adding in your red peppers, so that can start sauteing and softening up along with the onions and the sofrito. So before even putting anything in your food, you want to make sure that your onions and your peppers are nicely soft before even putting anything else in this pot. Alright, so after leaving it in the pot for 5 minutes, maybe less, as you guys can see, I am putting ragu traditional sauce in here, because I was supposed to put tomato sauce in it, but I definitely forgot to go purchase it. So I just used what I had around my house, which is no problem because it's still going to turn into a tomato sauce here. So I left it in the sauce, I mixed it up, and as you guys can see, it's starting to boil. So you just want it to come to a boil before you actually start putting your pork chops in. And now, as you guys can see, I'm here putting in the pork chops, and as later on you guys are going to realize that I'm going to change my pot, because I realized that my pot is too small and I had too much pork chops for this really small pot. So later on you guys are going to realize that I made a big mistake, and I am going to transfer my pork chops from one pot to another pot. And this is where I'm changing the pots, you guys. As you guys can see, this one's a bigger pan, so it's gonna give me more space, and it's gonna give me more space to like basically cook my pork chops, and so that my pork chop isn't all on top of each other. Like they all have like equal amount of space to like cook, and everything's gonna be even and all this other stuff. So you just want to make sure that you're cooking in the right pots as well, guys, okay? So I'm just gonna leave it here for a couple of minutes so that I can start cooking a little bit on one side, and then we're gonna come back to the pork chop to come and check it out so that we can come and flip it around, okay? Alright, so what we're going to do is that we're just going to cover up our pork chop and we're just going to let it sit here for 10 to 15 minutes to cook up. So as we're waiting for that, we are going to start on making on the rice, you guys. So I'm just going to put my water to boil and I'm going to put some butter in my rice because the rice that I'm making needs to have butter in it and it comes out a better consistency with some butter, okay? So I put like 3 tablespoons of butter and I just mix the water and I just let it come to a boil afterwards. So I just let it sit there on the stove for like 5-6 minutes till the water came to a boil. Alright, so we got our chicken flavor fried rice, you guys. I love this rice. It literally tastes amazing after literally making the whole meal. So I actually put 3 packs of rice in here because I do have a big family and we tend to eat a lot. And even just putting in the 3 packs of rice, it wasn't ready. So I'm just going to also put corn inside my rice. So we are back checking up on the pork chop. So as you guys can see, I am flipping over the pork chop because one side is already done. So you just want to continue flipping it every 5 to 10 minutes just to make sure that it's not being overcooked or just to make sure that every piece of chicken is actually starting to cook, okay? And that is pretty much it, you guys. There is your pork chop and your yellow rice. Thank you guys for coming back to the channel and I totally appreciate you guys. Bye.